Hi and a very warm welcome back to the channel. In this video I'm going to show you how to take clematis cuttings. Clematis are such beautiful climbers. We should all have at least one in our gardens, climbing up a trellis or a fence or up a garage or shed. Now this one is a beautiful one called Prince George, and this one has quite nice white lovely open flowers, and we've done some cuttings of this earlier in the year, but I'm going to show you the process and then also show you potting those ones up. So what you're looking for is literally a stem just like this one, and what we're going to do is firstly just nip off the whole stem just like that, and we'll take it back to the table and I'll show you what to do with it. So having brought this back to this tray, what I'm going to do first is, these are quite different from most cuttings in the fact that you're going to take a cutting that's just a few centimetres above where a leaf is and a few centimetres below where a leaf is. So in the example I have here, you can see there are lots and lots of leaves. Now leaves come on the clematis one either side of each other on the main stem. So what we can do is, I'm just going to cut one there and cut one there, and what we have is, it looks a bit of a funny shape. Now ideally you would find some that haven't had flowers on, but that's okay if it has. We just need to remove the spent blooms, and what we're going to be doing is remembering which way was closest to the plant. So this was growing upwards this way, this was the top and this was the bottom. I'm just going to reduce a few of these little leaves just to prevent too much moisture loss. Then we're going to dip that end into some hormone rooting powder, and then in a pot of gritty compost, this one is actually a pot full of perlite with the compost, I'm just going to pop that in along the edge of the container and just firm that down. Now on a plant like this we've got many options to take cuttings from, so I'm just going to take that one there. So again, remember which way is up and which way is down. Remove any flowers that have gone, take away some of the leaves, and place that hormone rooting powder and at the edge of your container. Firm that down nicely, and I'll just take one more. So I'm going to go for the very tip one. Remove any spent flowers, take away some of the leaves, and then pop that into a little bit shorter. Pop that into hormone rooting powder and into your pot, and just firm that down. You want to make sure this is nice and moist, so give it a nice water. And then just using one of these bags, I like to use these ones with zips on because it makes it so much easier. Place the whole thing inside the bag and then just zip. And what that does is it creates a nice little environment for the plants, keeps the moisture in and also some of the heat, and those will be rooted within a month or so. So let me go to the ones that I took earlier in the year. So these are the ones that are now growing nicely. I've taken the plastic bag off, and what we can now do is tip these out and put these now in their own containers. As you can see, fresh new roots have been grown, and if I just very carefully just separate them out, you can now see that they do have quite extensive roots and they are starting to grow. So we'll give these now their own pots to grow in. So just place them down and in they pop. So that's one new plant, and here's the next one. You can actually see just how good the roots are there. So all the roots are formed just below where that little bit of stem is that you've cut and placed into the pot. We can now place that into its own container. Firm that down, and then as always, just give those a bit of a water. And I'll probably leave these in here for the remainder of the year and maybe transplant these out into the garden early next spring. That's 2 new plants from clematises, and it's such an easy way to grow new clematises for completely nothing. And if you do have maybe a family member or a friend that's got a lovely clematis that you're really envious of, and you can't maybe find it in your plant nurseries, I mean the price of these do kind of range from around £10 going up to even £20 depending on the size, so they are quite costly. So if you can get one that you can beg and borrow from a neighbour or a family member, take some cuttings. If you're not going to do it straight away, make sure you put it in one of these polythene bags and bring it home, and then do it as soon as you can, because you don't want the little cuttings having too much moisture loss. Make some brand new plants, and then you've got some plants for your own garden. Thanks so much for watching this short video about how to take cuttings from clematis. I do hope you found it informative and enjoyable, and I do hope it's given you some confidence to go and make some cuttings of your own plants. We will see you very, very soon on the next video. In the meantime, please do take care, and as always, happy gardening.